Thank you for joining today's session. We will be getting started shortly. We do have a lot of folks signed up for today's session, and we want to give everyone a moment to log on and get connected so that we can dive into today's session. I do want to thank you all for joining us today. I'm Jasmine Garrett here with the New Jersey Economic Development Authority. Today's session is an informational overview on the authority's proposed updates to the commuter and transit bus private carrier relief and jobs program for the potential phase 3 of program funding. A quick housekeeping note, we do suspect that many questions will be answered in today's presentation. However, you are able to write in questions at any point using Zoom's Q&A feature. It is one of your Zoom command options and will allow us to make sure we are able to get back to you and let others see these questions and answers as well. Today's session is being recorded and will be posted on our NJEDA and YouTube pages. The slides and other resources will also be available in the next few days. Now to get us started with the presentation, I will shift things over to NJEDA's Director of Clean Energy, Dan Fenton. Dan?
Thank you, Jasmine, and good afternoon, folks. Thanks for joining. I think I just wanted to start by saying thank you for joining us on somewhat short notice to talk through this program. We have a variety of updates to share with you and a quick slide deck to run through, but then we're very open to having a conversation at the end about the program design and also about other needs that may exist within this ecosystem. So if we can go to the next slide. Just as background for folks that don't know, EDA is obviously the state's economic development authority, and we serve as the principal agency for the state in terms of driving economic growth. We're committed to making New Jersey a model for inclusive and sustainable economic development, and we focus on a variety of key strategies to help build strong and dynamic communities, create good jobs for New Jersey residents, and provide pathways to a stronger and fairer economy. I think I want to basically just say again, thank you for joining and turn it over to my colleague, Sean Sonneman, to talk through the slides.
Thank you, Dan. And I'll echo his thanks to everybody for taking the time today to meet with us. There's really only a few slides here. As Dan said, the goal is really to get your feedback on the proposed updates to this program as we look to finalize it and get funding available. As you all likely are familiar from the two prior phases of this program, it is intended to support the private carrier bus operators in the state of New Jersey and really alleviate some of their ongoing revenue loss still seen due to reduced ridership in the past few years with changing nature of economic and transportation patterns in the state. So focusing in on this proposed phase 3, still would be functioning as a grant similar to the two prior phases. The intent is to have a fixed application window, be at least 2 weeks long, potentially a little bit longer, where eligible entities will be able to apply, and then we would close the application window after that period of time. The current funding available for this round of the program is $3 million total from the state's 2026 budget. We will be deducting a small percentage of that, low single digits, for our own administrative costs, just with getting the program up and running and various back-end requirements on our end, but overwhelming majority of that $3 million will be available for funding and supporting the eligible applicants. For this round, we are not looking at any kind of application fee. Eligible entities would be able to apply free of charge. So for this phase of the program, currently we're proposing eligibility would be all active private carriers in the state who are working with NJ Transit and recognized by such as a private carrier, including relevant ferry operators who provide bus service. Relatively straightforward otherwise, would be in good standing with the state and be able to provide a valid New Jersey tax clearance certificate. That is common for every authority's assistance program, regardless of economic sector. And we would just be looking for a demonstration that ongoing service is being provided in the state, either through route documentation, ridership information, similar documentation that just shows that you are functioning currently in the state to support that activity. And then comments again to other funding opportunities available from the authority would be a check that you are otherwise in good standing with other state entities, notably, of course, our partners at NJ Transit. For this round, probably the most notable adjustment that we are proposing is to have all available funding be divided equally amongst eligible applicants who apply. So again, that would be the $3 million after subtracting out a small amount of administrative costs for the authority would be split amongst all eligible applicants who apply. We recognize that is a change from the prior phases, but really was made intentionally to both streamline the funding distribution and recognizing the relatively limited size of the overall portion of funds compared to prior phases. The disbursement of those funds would be a one-time issuance upon execution of a grant agreement with the authority, and that would come shortly after applications closed and reviewed and are completed, and all entities who are applied, assuming they're approved, would then kind of quickly proceed to that grant agreement stage and receive their funding shortly thereafter. Again, the goal really is to get these dollars out and working to support the eligible entities as quickly as possible, and continue to support the operation of ongoing service in the state. As we said, it's really a quick presentation overall. We'd really like to leave the bulk of the time as appropriate for any questions that you all may have on what presented. Happy to offer any clarifying answers for questions or just general comments, and those can be submitted in the Q&A box, as Jasmine mentioned at the top. I do believe also we were able to unmute if anybody would like to make their comments verbally. So yeah, thank you for that, and again, open for your comments and feedback at this time.
Jasmine, it looks like we have a series of hands up. I don't know if you want to help us unmute folks.
Yes, I just unmuted Paulo.
I just had a quick question. I was going to start typing it, but it might be quicker. You had mentioned carriers that operate bus service, ferry carriers that operate bus service. What if the ferry carrier does not operate bus service but does operate ferry service?
So this would just be those who operate bus service.
Okay.
Again, and are recognized as a private carrier bus operator.
Okay. Thank you.
Carol? Carol, can you hear me?
Are you, is it Carol Katz you're asking for? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm displayed as the wrong person. Sorry, this is Adam Guzieski. I'm the one who raised my hand. It's probably appearing as Carol Katz. We share a Zoom account.
Yep.
Adam Guzieski, President, Katz Government Affairs, and we represent the Bus Association of New Jersey, which is the private carrier groups primarily. Can you just re-explain the rationale for the equal award allotment versus the way it's been done in the last two phases, please?
Sure. So there's a few different reasons for that, and we recognize that as a change and understand the questions around that. So the prior phases, on the first hand, had a much bigger portion of funds, and so therefore, as you divide that up, having kind of unequal distribution was less of an impact here because it's only a $3 million portion overall. Doing that proportionally is going to be, quite small awards, and we understand there's some base level of operating overhead costs that are common to all carriers. But frankly, from more of a logistic point of view, we understand that prior two phases were based on comparing historic revenue and adjustments to service. Since phase two, we understand that several of the carriers have restructured organizationally and have separate ownership in different entities, so less able to logistically, frankly, look back at historical performance and historical revenue, given these are functionally new entities that would be applying to the program. Second or third point, rather, that we understand there was challenges in the past with the availability of data and timing, and kind of performing that analysis to distribute awards and calculate them proportionally based on that data. Unequal just reporting requirements depending on the types of entities, and also challenges with the availability of that data to make awards as quickly as possible. So the intent here, again, is to expedite that process and be able to do a one-shot disbursement as soon as possible upon the simplified eligibility requirements.
Okay, thank you. So just if I'm understanding, if I may ask a follow-up then. So
Sure.
if I'm understanding correctly, if we have, let's say, 3 carriers apply and are determined to be eligible by the EDA, all right, let's use round numbers because I know there's an administrative fee as well, but each would essentially get about $1 million, correct? Regardless of
Correct.
size, losses, all that. But then if we have 20 carriers that are deemed eligible, it would be that pot divided by those 20, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Not ready to opine on that right now, but I think I'd like to bring that back to the association, and we may have some follow-up thoughts on that afterwards.
Sure. Yeah, again, open for feedback. You can happy to arrange a call or follow up via email. We have a general account that was sent out, I believe, for the invite to this. That's Clean Energy, all one string, no spaces, at njeda.gov. And also our personal contacts are available up on the website as well if you want to reach out directly.
Okay, great. Thank you.
So I see the first question in the chat, I think we just answered. But how many participant carriers will participate is the second question. And honestly, that's up to you all as potential applicants. So eligibility will be clearly defined. And then we think that the ecosystem here is 10 or 11 eligible entities. And so if 10 apply and are deemed eligible, 10 participate. It's really a matter of when the board approves the program and the application goes live. If you apply, you can participate as long as you're eligible. Any other questions? Any other comments from folks? Please either raise your hand or enter the question using the Q&A tool.
I don't see anyone else with their hand raised.
Just giving a couple seconds in case there are stragglers. Like Sean said, you can reach out to us at cleanenergy@njeda.org. Sorry, .gov.
We do have another question.
Yes.
Sorry, it's Adam again appearing as Carol. And I sorry to put it this way, just for my own referencing. Sean, are you sort of in the role that Olivia Barone was the last 2 phases on this, or is there? I'm trying to understand who's who here.
I'm in the role currently that's Cassie Havens.
Okay.
I'll
Cassie.
be taking over Olivia's former role.
Okay, thank you.
Last call for questions. So I think just to underscore, we're really trying to simplify this program and make it as administratively simple for applicants as possible. We've done our best to streamline the program. Welcome comments if you have additional after the fact, but this recording will be posted online, and we will happily share the slides as well as follow up. Thank you all for joining. Jasmine, anything else we need to do to wrap up here?
Nope. You guys are good to close it out.
Okay, thank you all again. Appreciate your time.